The greatest civilizations of the past have all suffered their imminent downfall. When the powers that be become too ambitious and operate with underhanded, self-serving tactics, the poor mostly suffers the consequences. When the Lord of the Underworld awakens, it leaves behind a massive destruction. Pluto annihilates what no longer serves humanity. And every 20 years or so, it changes signs. Over the last decade, it's been in the sign of Capricorn, the United States' natal placement. We've seen evidence of its great destruction with the financial crisis of 2008 when it first entered Capricorn. We've seen the Lord of the Underworld strike again at 29 degrees Capricorn with the Silicon Valley bank crisis. Whilst Pluto in Capricorn, we've came to the realization that the US dollar and all other paper money in the world have no intrinsic value. With Pluto in Aquarius comes the dismantling of institutions, false structures, and innovations that are of no benefit to society. Aquarius deals with collective progression in all aspects of life. While Pluto in Capricorn, there was emphasis on restructuring, reevaluating of the economy in our capitalistic society. Pluto in Aquarius focuses on social, political, as well as psychological, technological, and scientific advancement. Pluto entered Aquarius on March 23rd of this year, but it will retrograde to Capricorn through 2023, so we could still be seeing more breakdown of financial institutions. But when Pluto fully transitions into Aquarius in 2024, we experience more fights for social reform. These questions become a front and center. Should we be spending fortune on space exploration and artificial intelligence and fancy technology when there are people out there in this world that have no place to call home and are wondering when they would have their next meal? Who is all of this fancy technology benefiting? The wealthy? People that want to display just how filthy rich they are? Or people that need a home? Aquarius is always about the advancement of humanity. Are we truly advancing humanity as a race, or just furthering the gap? Also, in the psychological sphere, now we're finding out that depression is not caused by a chemical imbalance in the brain, as well as ADHD not being a genetic thing and something that is quite manageable without the use of drugs. When I was in high school, I was attending this well-known university's program. And keep in mind, prior to this, I was super into psychology and I was obsessively researching all the different disorders. And I would have sworn I had ADHD, depression, bipolar, and even borderline personality disorder. I was self-diagnosing. But one day, this program director called my parents in to suggest that I get evaluated for ADHD. Something about this meeting was so validating, but unfortunately, my parents never followed through, and I still thank God that my parents never followed through with the evaluation, because years later, I discovered astrology, and I got a whole different perspective. I learned about myself and my internal mechanism. Self-knowledge at the core energetic level is quite validating and empowering. I got a lot of mutable energy, and if you know mutable energy, it's very unstable and changeable and scattered, literally all the symptoms of ADHD. Through the use of astrology, I was able to decode my own energetic signature and understand myself much more than psychology could explain. With astrology, I was able to feel validated, but it's a different kind of validation because in astrology, I learned that it's mind over matter. Yes, I have these tendencies, but through sheer willpower and self-knowledge, I'm able to overcome my ADHD and depressive tendencies and become even a more holistic, self-aware human. Initially, through psychology, I got the validation that, yes, I have these issues and they're genetic and I can't do anything about it, but drugs will come to the rescue. Astrology gives you the power of self-knowledge and why you operate the way you do, and different options to explore. Because I lack earth in my energetic signature, I struggle with grounding myself, and my mind is constantly on analytical mode and thinking at the speed of lightning. Psychology takes away your power through convincing you that it's a chemical imbalance and you can't really do anything about it except alleviating the problems through drug dependency. Do you see how disabling that is? Big Pharma wants profit and it needs you to need medication. So, with Pluto and Aquarius, the sign of higher thinking and progressive evolution, people are going back to the basics. We're going to awaken to just how damaging some advancements have been to our progress in evolution. We've been made to believe that something is wrong with our brains and we're completely helpless. People are going to discover just how valid astrology is, and after all, you'll find the proof within yourself. And instead of us focusing our intelligence on building artificial intelligence, intelligence becomes focused on the human and how the human can self-empower. When we truly understand ourselves and gain enlightenment, we become citizens of this world in the true Aquarian sense. The whole purpose behind existence is to progress and evolve. We've been made to think that the whole purpose behind existence is the American dream, that financial prosperity brings happiness. If that was the case, why do some of the rich commit suicide? The evolved Aquarian doesn't spend millions in space exploration if the people of this world are displaced and fighting for their basic rights. Why aren't we figuring out the hunger crisis? And why are there still so many ongoing wars? With Pluto and Aquarius, the Lord of the Underworld demands to know if we are serving humanity in the true humanitarian way or serving the self for power, money, and glory.